Man, was I stable. Waking up at 88 was about 90 to 96, throughout the day, but as low as the low 90s, high 80s. And I was waking up, my highest spike was only about 120 to 126. And about 2 hours postprandial, I would come back down to like a very modest 90s range. So that's what I love about that real-time data. And it kind of took the fear for me out of like, oh my God, like what's happening? I'm developing diabetes again. So the answer for me was, and tell me if it makes sense, tell me if I'm wrong. The answer was for me, you're going to be diabetic if you don't chill out. Stop eating ice cream each night, thinking it's okay to have a snack, i.e. moderation daily, and stop having Snickers bars when you're hungry, hold out for something better or bring maybe some nuts and seeds to work the way I used to.
Start checking your blood sugars there. And you hit the nail on the head. Whenever I'm having people check their blood sugars, I always say, check your blood sugars 2 hours from the first bite. At that point, your body should have, your insulin should have carried your blood sugars to those cells that need it, package it up if it didn't need it. But if you still have high circulating, that's the issue. So those who have diabetes, we want your blood sugars to be less than 180. That's the bare minimum. 2 hours after a meal, we want it to be less than 180. Optimum, if you have diabetes, less than 140. So that's the clinical guidelines for those with diabetes, there. Now, with someone like you, if you're riding like, 130 or so, and you're like, okay, maybe I have pre-diabetes, there. But it's 2 hours from the first bite is when you start test to see if this is something that my body can process. And do an experiment like you did. You had the Snickers bars and then you went clean to see, okay, maybe my body can't respond to that. And I always tell my clients who have diabetes, just because it works for one person, it doesn't work for the other one. Her doctor put her on insulin because her blood sugar was like 534 and then went down to like 300. She didn't know she had diabetes and went to the emergency room and her doctor put her on insulin and he kept her on insulin. I have been able to work her diet to where she emailed me yesterday. She's like, I'm completely off my insulin, completely off. But her liver was just dumping because she wouldn't eat for hours at a time. She would fast for so long, but then she would binge on like 200 to 300 carbs per meal and then stop eating. And so that regulatory system, that homeostasis was off track. It's like, I'm trying to process 200 to 300 carbs per meal, then nothing. And so it just wore her liver, her pancreas out to try to dump that much insulin. And then to cover the meal, and then her liver dumping so much.
She's working hard or she's doing the work. Like it's hard work. People got to understand there is no easy way, because the easy way is the fast way to the grave. I'm sorry. I mean,
well said.
The hard work becomes easy when it becomes a routine and it becomes priority.
Absolutely.
If you are listening to this, that means you are listening to the Dr. Pearlman Podcast. And I just want to say thank you. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, I hope that this podcast provides you with some education, information, or maybe some inspiration in some way, shape, or form. But at the very least, if you get a little bit of a laugh or smile, then to be honest, I feel good about what I'm doing.